What is a glow up? A glow up is a mental, physical, and emotional transformation for the better, or to go from the bottom to the top to the point of disbelief. How did this phenomenon came to be? Well, the oldest form of glow up started with Disney's classic, Cinderella. Her fairy godmother got rid of her worn-out dress, gave her a beautiful blue gown along with a fancy hairstyle and jewelry. Basically, a transformation from rags to riches. I think because the makeover scene was so successful and gained a lot of attention, that a lot of movies began including a makeover scene as well. It even came to a point where it's a whole trope in teenage movies. In The Breakfast Club, Allison went from being a plain Jane to glamorous. In Harry Potter, Hermione put on a dress, did her hair and makeup, and became, well, even prettier. And the movie with the most iconic glow up was from Princess Diaries, where Mia straightened her hair, took off her glasses, and suddenly she's pretty, like she was gorgeous already.
That's it. I did it. I'm a miracle worker.
It's kind of important to note that the point of the makeovers aren't to, just experiment with new clothing or to feel more confident about themselves. Instead, it usually involves getting male attention in some way and then only being seen as a girl by boys. You never really see any male makeover scenes in movies, which really summarizes for us the high beauty standards that girls have to adhere to and the patriarchal society that values male validation more than females. Anyways, since then, we've already outgrown those movies, but it's obvious that it has shaped our generation and made a lasting impact. Glow up culture is more relevant than ever, especially with entering a new year and the pressure of glowing up during quarantine. Glow ups nowadays are by celebrities or influencers posting glow up content. The evolution went from don't judge me challenges to 24 glow up challenges on YouTube. On the surface level, these videos might seem harmless, and I do agree that these content are obviously purely for entertainment purposes. However, I feel like these videos may have some sort of negative impact on younger audiences and can sometimes push a false narrative into their heads. So let's dive deep into YouTube glow up content. There's many varieties of glow up videos on YouTube, but I am specifically going to be focusing more on glow up content that often involves a lot of money. I noticed that everyone would basically do the same thing in their videos in order to achieve the final look.
So we're gonna get my hair dyed, we're gonna self-tan, we're gonna whiten my teeth, we're gonna do a face mask, exfoliate, wax my eyebrows, wax my upper lip, shave, do a full face of makeup, hopefully put extensions in, get my nails done, get my toes done. We're gonna do
which kind of reflects what makeovers in movies do. So I totally get the lore of these videos, and now I finally understand why I used to watch them so much. The problem I have with these content is that sometimes the person is spending a really unnecessary and unrealistic amount of money that the average teen has no access to. All these makeup, nails, fake tan, etc. are all just temporary. Truth is, when you eventually strip all of that off, you are left with the person that you were before.
I know I do these often, but it's because after the glow up videos posted, I turn out looking like shit after like a week.
Which supposedly is supposed to be the ugly version of yourself. That's exactly why you can see the same YouTuber doing the same video over and over and over again in the span of a year. It is not sustainable, and you need to get it redone like every month. And eventually, that money adds up. These videos make you feel like being in your natural state without makeup and everything done is ugly, but fail to address that you can look like both in the same day. It's okay to have fluctuations in appearance where one day you feel like trash and then the next you're walking like a queen. You don't have to look like that 24/7 in order to be beautiful. No one is Beyonce here. I woke up like this. By the way, I am by no means trying to shame them or belittle them for making that kind of content. I get why it's so entertaining, people enjoy it, and they have fun while filming it too, so it makes sense to make that kind of content.
That you don't have to do a bunch of procedures to be pretty, by society standards or whatever. It was just a fun little video just to change it up a little bit, because sometimes you just crave a little bit of change,
Honestly, I feel so good. Like, this is the first time I've caked since the breakup. So I feel freaking amazing. But I just want people to remember that you don't have to spend that much money to be more attractive, because all of that money is going down the drain after 1 week anyways. The next thing I want to talk about is the assumption that glowing up equals to happiness. Watching these glow up videos, we assume that they are inherently happier and more confident after they pamper themselves, and they may portray themselves as that in thumbnails, but I don't think that's the case for most of them at all. They correlate change in appearance with change in mindset, and they basically basically sells this whole idea into people's head that once you do all of those things, you will only then be happy. As cheesy as it sounds, being happy and having confidence comes so much more from the inside than outside. If you don't work on your mental health and accepting yourself, you will never be satisfied with your appearance no matter how good you look. You'll always find something to be insecure about. Once you get all of the same things done, you might feel amazing and confident for one day, which is great. But you eventually realize that once this exterior fades away, your confidence and happiness diminishes with it. That's why it's not too good to tether your self-worth around this exterior. Though I do think that makeup and good fashion can be a supplement to having good confidence. Now let's move on to TikTok glow-ups. I feel like TikTok glow-ups are a whole different breed of content because it's all very visual oriented, and due to the short durations, these videos usually lack any explanation or context, and it's less centered around showing you how to glow up, rather showing you how attractive they are now. Also, the physical change tends to happen in the span of a few years rather than days like the ones in YouTube. The next thing I want to talk about is the normalization, or rather expectation, of massive change. I feel like there's this pressure to make a massive difference of appearance in your glow up content so that the video is worth the watch, because there's just so many videos competing against each other. This encourages people to post their worst ever photo of themselves in the before and then the best one in the after picture, just to get that good contrast and content. The most obvious example I can use is videos from the Don't Judge Me challenges. As you can see, they draw on fake ass blemishes, a unibrow, and put on glasses because they just aren't ugly enough, you know? How relatable. And then bam, psych, you thought I was ugly? I'm actually a 10 out of 10. Don't judge a book by its cover. Anyways, the point I wanted to make is the big contrast in the before and after sequence of the video. This further proves that you can be both ugly and attractive just a few minutes apart, but because of the angle and in their case bad makeup, that you look slightly less conventionally attractive. This translates subtly into YouTube and TikTok glow up content. These YouTubers are posing weirdly just to make themselves look uglier and then smiling normally with makeup in the after picture. Also, I think a big part of TikTokers glowing up is just them learning how to take better pictures of themselves and also finding a better fashion sense, which I think is great. I mean, what I want you to remember is that angle and lighting alone can change so much of a person's appearance. They might have actually glow up in appearance just a little bit, but just took the worst ever angle of themselves 5 months ago, and then 5 months later put on makeup, do their hair, change in good clothing, and then snap a picture again, thus creating this image of a massive glow up. And I don't blame them, you know. If you want to post something that will catch people's attention, you would want to make a bigger contrast. The thing with this is, now people normalize that massive change because they consume so much of that content. That normalization in turn pressures creators to make even contrast to catch viewers' attention, since there's just so much competition. See where I'm going with this? It just becomes one big cycle. So remember this fact the next time you catch yourself comparing to these types of content. It might all just be an illusion. The final thing I want to point out is how glow up content is essentially just feeding into society's beauty standards. People with thin lips get fillers, people with hooked noses get nose jobs, Americans tan to achieve this sun-kissed look, whilst Asians lighten their skin to achieve flawless, glass-looking skin. I read this article that said people who display their glow up on social media send a message, sometimes unknowingly, that their former self was not good enough. They usually do this by deprecating what they look like and who they were before the glow up took place. And that's pretty true.
Welcome back to my channel. So I know I look a little...
My birthday is in a few days and I look like shit. I don't want to come out of quarantine looking like this. Ew, I look so crusty.
This might unknowingly plant an insecurity that people never had before. Kids see Mia's makeover from curly to straight hair and now they think curly hair is undesirable. People look at Kylie Jenner's glow up and then now suddenly everyone wants bigger lips. Okay, what if you still want to go on a glow up journey in this new year? What should you do then? Well, first of all, don't feel pressured to change if you don't want to. But also, I'm not trying to stop you from going on your glow up journey because I'm on one myself. All I'm trying to do is let you guys know that you don't need money for a glow up. There's so many other things that you can do at home that can last so much longer and change your whole life. Instead of focusing on these temporary changes, think long term. Glowing up should be more about a whole lifestyle change. That involves exercising regularly, eating healthier, overcoming bad habits, and learning more about yourself and your mental health. That in turn will naturally improve your appearance. Learning about your mental health and being self-aware is so important because it shapes how we view the world and ourselves. Sometimes we don't even realize that our bad habits may stem from a deep-rooted insecurity or emotional pain. Stop waiting to only accept yourself once you reach that goal weight or goal appearance. Start accepting yourself right now. Accept your flaws, but strive to improve them. You might not be able to physically see a change in your mental health, but it has so much more power to change your life than an improvement in physical appearance ever could. Know that change is not linear, and you can have fluctuations in life, and that is okay and normal. Growing up should mean striving to be the best version of yourself for yourself, not fit into someone else's ideal. Truth is, beauty standards are constantly changing. Wear clothes that you feel most confident and comfortable in. If you feel insecure about something, then try to change it. But if that insecurity is something that you have no control over, learn to embrace them. You'll start to realize that that's when you truly glow up. That was a lot. I hope I didn't come off wrong in my analysis. I really just wanted to remind people about glow up content if they're ever feeling insecure because of it. I think glow up culture is what you make of it. It can be either good or bad depending on how you view it. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this analysis of mine. I never had an analysis before, so I don't know how I did. And if you're on a glow up journey in this new year as well, then good luck and remember my advice. Bye! Now I can finally understand why YouTubers wear pajamas at the bottom.